Okay. Vito. I'm gonna show y'all boys where I'm from, man. I'm from that Texas, man. I'm old school like a pro too. You know what I'm talking about?
Hey, y'all, what it is, what it is. Y'all already know it is. This is one of your hosts, the big boss house. Bounced out K-Po through the door. Here to talk this football, baby. This the Mind on Greatness podcast, while mine is focused on greatness. We got two other hosts on here today. Normally it's me and Paceo, or normally it's me and Coach. But we got both of them on the panel today. So, briefly, Peso or Coach, whoever want to go first, I'll start with Peso. Peso, let the world know what you've been up to, how you been, and are you happy to be back on this great platform?
First and foremost, God is good. We have been amazing. We have been doing our best to kill it at work, stay consistent. Just keep knocking these goals out. And of course, I'm always happy and blessed and honored to talk shop with sports with my brothers, K-Po and Coach. And ready to rock. It's a lot of NFL movement. As you can see, I've got the Manchester United colors on, even though right now we're 14th in the Premier League, which is fine. It's not fine, but we still got to rep. These colors don't run. That's why you got the Manchester United hooligan banner down beneath my name right now. So I'm just, this is real football. Just in case you guys, everyone tune in a little bit. But yeah, I'm ready. Let's get it.
All right, Coach. Let them know real quick what's going on with you.
Hey, y'all know my saying is always good to see another day. If God put breath in your body, everything else after that is extra. Go be you, go be great, take care of the fam, and do nothing less.
All right. Y'all know we finna get in the main entree, the main dish, the meat potatoes of the situation. So in this NFL, it's been crazy, man. It's been a lot of movement. But we're gonna start with the quarterbacks, and Peso basically gonna give y'all a little intel of what's going on, and we're gonna respond to it. So Peso, I'm gonna throw the alley to you, and you're gonna slam dunk it. Do your thing.
For sure. Thank you, my brother. As we all know, it's been a lot of movement. It's been a crazy NFL offseason so far already. We've had two of the top 5 passers from last year in Geno Smith and my boy Sam Darnold moved this offseason already. So, and you still got guys like Kirk Cousins still out there. Brock Purdy is still trying to see what they're going to do with him. You had Darnold go to the Seahawks. You had Geno to the Raiders. You had Justin Fields to the Jets. You had Daniel Jones go to the Colts. So, I'm sorry. I'm gonna try to keep it together. And you had a few other moves. Devontae Adams to the Rams, a few other big moves. But as far as quarterbacks are concerned, those are like the big fish. Obviously, we're still trying to wait and see what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers, whether he's going to go to the Giants or somewhere else. Josh Allen just got a monster deal. So I guess my question is, given the current landscape of the NFL so far in this NFL offseason, which quarterback seems to be in the best position come week 1, 2025? Coach, Brody, I'm going to start with you. What you thinking?
Oh, man, it's crazy because in my opinion, if this all would have happened last season and these quarterbacks would have went to the situation that was, present or presented to them last year, I would say a whole lot of different, sentiments towards the situation. But honestly, I think all these quarterbacks have probably went to places that's not in their favor. And don't get me wrong, Geno Smith, great comeback player. Sam Darnold, great comeback player. You got Justin Fields to the Jets. He's still out there trying to prove himself as the true number 1 quarterback. And you got Daniel Jones to the Colts, and the list goes on. But Sam Darnold, Geno Smith, I'll break those two down real quick. Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. Okay, you put Sam Darnold on the Seahawks of last year. If you get a healthy Jackson Smith and Jigba, you get DK, you keep him healthy, and you still got the veteran Tyler Lockett. If he would have went to that,
DK's gone. Lockett got cut.
You see what I'm saying?
Cut. DK Metcalf is a Steeler now.
Right, exactly. So If we were putting Sam Darnold in this offense last season,
Yeah.
then yes, I would give him the go. I would give him the green light. But with this Seahawks wide receiver core now depleted and his number one go-to guy is going to be a second-year guy in Jackson Smith and Jigba, I don't, I don't see this actually keeping him on the platform he was on last year. Last year he had Addison. Last year he had Hawkinson. Last year he had Justin Jefferson, and he had also a solid running back in AJ. So going to the Seahawks, yes, they do have their backfield in order if they can keep healthy. But when you look at the receivers, the pass catchers of the Seahawks, it's like, who are you going to get for Sam Darnold to throw to? And that's why I say that's not the best move for him. Now I'm gonna go ahead and chop up Geno Smith real quick. Geno Smith to the Raiders. What receiver? What receiver? Who is he throwing to? Same question I got with the Seahawks. Who do you have Geno Smith throwing to that makes the Raiders feel comfortable in making this pickup? Now, granted, if he would have stayed with the Seahawks, it would have been the same question from me. Who is he going to throw to? Who's going to be his go-to guy? And I'm going to go back to the Raiders with this. The Raiders are to me, in my opinion, are still in deep spring cleaning and rebuild mode. I don't think Geno Smith needed to go to a place that's in rebuild mode. Geno Smith and Sam Darnold need to be in places that are established with pass catchers, with a decent O-line, with a solid run game to back him up. Now, the knock I have on Geno Smith is he's a statue in the pocket. I don't like that, and with him going to the Raiders, that's a recipe for disaster. Sam Darnold, I'm going to segue back to Sam Darnold real quick. Sam Darnold being with the Seahawks, okay, you can see where it can thrive, but they got to get him some more pieces and fill in that puzzle a little bit more before I like that. Now I'm going to break down the other few quarterbacks real quick. Justin Fields to the Jets, I love it. I like it. I like it a lot, simply because this is a place that needs somebody who plays the quarterback position with the chip on their shoulder. And whether you're catching the ball or not, if push comes to shove, Justin Fields, if he has to make the play himself with his legs, he will. And that's something I feel like the Jets, the New York Jets offense has been missing, even though they still got Garrett Wilson and they had a couple other guys who could have had a decent season last season, but it just didn't work out the way they wanted to. But Justin Fields to the Jets, I like a lot. He gets to go somewhere that's, again, in rebuild mode, and he can rebuild himself along with the process and possibly get himself to the forefront and say, hey, I'm a number one quarterback. Daniel Jones to the coaches, it's tough. It's tragic because with Daniel Jones, you're playing Russian roulette. It's a hit or miss. Now, he's had a tremendous upside since he's entered the league. But how long can you give a guy to say, hey, I still see the potential in your upside. We're going to get you there. He's been in the league. He's seasoned. He's played. He knows what it's like to go through those long, gruesome, horrible seasons and just not have the winning records. He's been through all of that. So how much longer can we keep applying the fact that Daniel Jones has a tremendous upside? Now, with the coach, you got Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson. I don't think Anthony Richardson will win the starting job. I'm 100% giving it to Daniel Jones. But at the same time, if Anthony Richardson is your future, I don't think Daniel Jones is the guy Anthony Richardson is going to want to or need to sit behind to actually learn and develop to be the coach's future quarterback. And I'm going to leave that right there because I know I got a little long-winded, but at the same time, it's these quarterbacks are in tough situations. Justin Fields, to me, has the best upside, but everybody else is kind of, it's a question mark in the circles. Like, is it going to work or is it not going to work?
Oh, man. I don't think I should touch on that coach thing just yet. What you think, Capo?
Man, when you look at the Seahawks, them getting Sam Darnold, and like Coach said, the Raiders getting Geno Smith, neither one of them are in situations to succeed. Nobody to throw the ball to. You look at the Jets, I mean, that's the best acquisition. You know, them getting Justin Fields, they got Breece Hall, they got Garrett Wilson. I feel like they got a little bit more structure there for him to succeed. And, you know, when you look at Justin Fields, he's a running quarterback. So he not only relies on his arm, he relies on his legs. And if you look at the Jets last year, a lot of the explosive plays in the run game came on the outside, not running up the middle, but running on the perimeter. So I think how they're currently constructed, I think Justin Fields is set up to succeed. We don't know what the Steelers going to do. We don't know what the Giants are going to do. Because there's still two big quarterback names that are out there, and that's Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson. But Daniel Jones going to the Colts. I mean that's a recipe. I mean, me as a Texas fan, hey, that's a recipe for success for us. You know what I'm saying? Because we just picked up that killer from Philly. So I mean, at the end of the day, hey, go Colts, keep doing what you're doing, man. Because Daniel Jones gonna be, you get interception. You get interception. He's going to be Oprah. You get interception. Oh, I'm going to fumble the ball. D lineman, you can pick it up. You get interception. Our D lineman, they run the ball back for a touchdown. So, hey, but we're not going to get in all that. I'm sorry. I'm getting beside myself.
Just twisting the knife, dog. It's all right. Okay, bro. Me and the Indianapolis Colts faithful are prepared to be on suicide watch this entire season. Because it's not, I mean, granted, last season, I think we had, it was subpar for sure. I think we finished like 8-9. But considering everything we had working against us, the inconsistency on offense, Anthony Richardson being in and out of the lineup, injuries other places across the field. I think DeForest Buckner ended up getting hurt towards the end of the season. I think we finished all okay. Yes, this will be the optimistic Colts fan in me thinking that, okay, if we were able to do that with a, less than ready Anthony Richardson, what could we do with a little more capable Daniel Jones? You know what I mean? Somebody who actually, maybe might just have like a slightly higher football IQ. Obviously in New York, a lot he was running for his life. That won't be the case in Indianapolis. Hopefully, the running game is still consistent. We got Jonathan Taylor back there for him to hand the ball off to, and hopefully they can do a little more zone read like I would have assumed would have been the case for Anthony Richardson. But for whatever reason, we chose not to go in a different way and tried to instead make him like second coming to Peyton Manning, trying to have him throw the ball 30 times a game. But it was, I trust Shane. I trust Coach. I trust our GM. Ballard's been great for us. But yeah, we're going through it. We didn't wake up this morning and think we're going to get Daniel Jones. Although, like I said, K-Paul, I called it. And honestly, in my opinion, we're just buying time. This is no more than a stunt to just buy time until we see a guy in the draft that we are in position to take that we can look at it, potential future franchise player, future franchise quarterback for us. So, I mean, it's a good placeholder. Could be worse. We'll see what happens. I guess with that, we'll transition into broadening the scope a little bit and just kind of like expand it from quarterback to just the entire team, focusing on the AFC South. The Texans have been the most active, honestly, with the Jaguars in second, and then maybe like the Titans and then the Colts, just making a few moves, getting Daniel Jones like we alluded to previously, and Shavarius Ward, Cameron Bynum, a couple older veteran DBs, and Ashton Doolin, we re-signed him on a 2-year deal. So, I guess what I'm alluding to is, this is like to say who's the biggest threat to the Texans in the division, like after today. Like, the Texans signed or re-signed. I'm gonna butcher some of these names, but is it Dare Ogunbowale? Is that how you say that? Dare signed him 2-year deal. Got Braxton Berrios on a 1-year deal. Signed Christian Kirk via trade. Got Justin Watson. Got a guard, Laken Tomlinson. Got two edge rushers, Derek Burnett and Darrell Taylor. Signed another couple D linemen, Mario Edwards, Sheldon Rankins, Nick Neiman, Tremont Smith, and as you mentioned earlier, Coach CJ Garner-Johnson. So they're They're starting to look like the Eagles of the South. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just like, as it currently stands now, who would y'all say is the biggest threat to the Texans in the AFC South for the division?
I'll be honest. I know we poke and we joke, we make fun of the situation. The Texans are doing a great job with retooling the defense, revamping the defense, and keeping what's already in place. So that, along with what Coach Ryans is doing for the Texans, is just reassuring himself to be atop the AFC South, and not only that, be able to take it a step further in the playoffs, because we still know the recipe to win in the playoffs is defense. Defense. If your offense gives points, cool. But your defense has to be out there. They have to be a threat. They have to have depth, and everybody has to be on the same page and trust the guy next to him. And that's what Coach Minko Ryans is doing for the Texans, and I applaud him for understanding when it's time to make the move, it's time to make the move. If you're not working for me, we're gonna get you out of here. No hard feelings, no love lost, but we trying to get this done now, and we trying to remain at the top for a while. So shout out to the Texans again for doing what they do. Yes, I am a Texans fan, so I'm tooting our horn a little bit, but at the same time, the biggest threat, like I said earlier, is it's cool to poke fun and laugh and joke. I still think the Indianapolis Colts are the biggest threat to the Texans in this division, simply because why? Their defense is crazy. They're not household names. They're not going to jump off the screen at you, but they know their role. They play it well, and they trust the guy next to them. And they will play defense to the end of the game. When the clock hits 0-0-0, whether it's overtime 1 or overtime 2, or maybe even triple overtime, if you can get to that in the NFL nowadays, they play defense, hard-nosed defense to the last whistle blow. So it's going to be a defensive matchup between these two teams. I think each and every time they meet each other, whether it's the playoffs for a wild card spot, twice in the regular season, I think it's going to be a hard-nosed matchup. Yes, the Texans have the edge in offense as of right now due to the quarterback position. But if we segue off into talking about the Colts and how I think they're a true threat outside of their defense, you got to look at where their offense is still stable at. They're still stable at the running back position. They're still stable at the wide receiver position. They're still stable at the offensive line position. Now, where it gets shaky is you kind of take Daniel Jones and put him back in the same situation he was in New York. He has one solid standout receiver in Pittman. He has a solid running back behind him in Taylor, and he has a decent O-line in front of him. So I still don't see where Daniel Jones is answering the question, but at the same time, like you mentioned, Paceo, it's a great bridge quarterback situation for them if they pull the trigger and it goes bang. Now, if it goes click, 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 we ain't got no ammo, then it could be a...
Bring out Joe Flacco. Come on down. Come on down, my brother.
Right. Joe Flacco might be the answer.
He looked the best when Joe Flacco was under center the last couple of years. I'm just like, bro.
And it's the same team, so it might be the right answer. I'm not gonna lie. But
Josh Downs doesn't look the same when Joe Flacco's not under center. Like, I'm just
right. I agree, 100%, wholeheartedly agree. But like I said, I still think the Colts are the number one threat. But that offense, putting Daniel Jones there is, like I said, it's kind of the same situation where he didn't thrive in New York. He had the main receiver, he had the running back, he had a decent O-line. It's all on Daniel Jones. Like I said, if they pull the trigger and it goes pow, and then like something, and y'all get the pumping bullets down range, consistently knocking your targets down, then good. But I feel like it's a bigger risk than reward until we see him get on the field and actually put him in a coach uniform, see how he works with the coaching staff, the quarterback's coach, see if he understands it, see if he's grown, see if he's actually tapped into that upside we all been giving him credit for since he's entered the league. But at the same time, I don't know, but I'm still going to say the Indianapolis Colts are the biggest threat. Then next in line, of course, I would say the Jaguars, because again, they're the most assembled team when you look at them versus the Titans. The Titans are still trying to figure it out. They have a lot of question marks.
Let me get in here really quick, B. I'm gonna ask you a question, K-Po. As a whole, as a division, is the AFC South the shite-is division in the NFL? Like, is there another division that is worse? Like, I'm just curious. Like, I mean, like the Titans, obviously, we don't need to kick a team while they're down. They've been down for some time. You know, since
Right.
Derrick Henry, it's just been a precipitous drop off, and we've just been, praying that the Jacksonville Jaguars either free Trevor Lawrence or get him a fucking O-line. Because I mean, like at the end of the day, Trevor Lawrence came into this league with all the upside, all the potential, and was showing signs initially, and it's like ever since then he's been in purgatory. Honestly, I was hoping he was one of the quarterbacks that was going to get moved because I like to see when good quarterbacks go to good teams and good situations. Right. I'm just of the mind that it's like you send these quarterbacks to these small market teams only to like waste a lot of their prime and a lot of their, their best years. I mean, so honestly, like if I'm not mistaken, this is on a different division. This is AFC East. So the Cleveland, not the Browns, the Bengals, for example, the Brown family. This is like the Cleveland Browns is like the largest percent of their income when it comes to like compared to like other NFL owners. So they don't plan on signing a bunch of stars down the line because this is how they make their money. So, in my opinion, in a situation like that, like Joe Burrow, they're probably so they just franchised T. Higgins for the second year in a row. They're trying to figure out a way to find the money to pay Chase. My thing is, what they should do, and guys like the Jaguars that are in positions like this where you kind of have this golden goose of a quarterback, but your infrastructure has a bunch of holes in it, trade them. Trade them, get a Lions Hall for their ass so you can actually maybe build some sort of resemblance of a team, kind of like what the Niners did before. Well, they had who they had before Purdy, but it doesn't matter. But so kind of like what the Niners did where you build you a just all-world defense, secure your running game, get you some playmakers on the edge, and then you find you a quarterback that fits your budget that you can plug and play. The Jacksonville Jaguars, I think, should have done the same thing. I mean, they signed Nick Mullins to be a backup, but I mean, obviously, he's just there because they know Trevor it might get to the end of the season, and what are we playing for? Let's pull Trevor Lawrence out of there. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, I feel like we're in consensus that the Colts are the biggest threat to the Texans. So I guess we'll end it on this. Talking to two Texans fans here, what's been y'all's favorite signing this offseason by the Texans? And what do y'all think? Or do you think that it addressed the need that they may have had in previous since last season?
I won't say they addressed their need as of yet. Their need is offensive line. But I do like the C.J. Gardner-Johnson signing. I think that you bolster up that safety position. You got Jalen Petrie who went out last year. You got Jimmy Ward that went out last year. So bolstering up that positioning back there at safety will only make this secondary stronger. I mean, you got Kamari Lassiter, who I think is a shutdown corner. And then you got Stingley, who's definitely a shutdown corner. Then you got Bullock back there, who gonna pick it off. Okay? Then you add C.J. Gardner-Johnson back there. Like,
disgusting. Like it's the risk get richer.
Yeah.
And Houston Texans got all that oil money and they spending it. Like it's crazy, man.
And then don't talk about the D line. They signed Mario Edwards, Sheldon Rankins. They still got Will Anderson. They still got Daniil Hunter. I feel bad for these teams because the Texans, and then everybody says this after they play the Texans, and I'm done after this. They say that defense is nasty. And every time they play the Texans, they are sore because they getting body bag and toe tag. They getting hit. D'Amico Ryans got them hit. So I like the C.J. Gardner-Johnson acquisition. I don't think
so. It was an alert. Somebody dropped in the group chat. D'Amico Ryans says, if you're not about the swarm mentality, then it's going to be hard for you to play defense for me because I see it one way. So that should let you know everything that you need to know right there. Yeah, man, it's going to be an uphill battle for us Indianapolis Colts fans, bro. It's going to be real. It's going to be an interesting season. It's going to be an interesting season. What about you, bro? You got a favorite move?
I'm not gonna lie. I second everything Capo said about the Texans. I respect like I said earlier, I respect everything that Coach Rhines is doing for the culture. He's doing it for the city. He's doing it for the necessary means of being great long term for the long haul. So I respect all of that. But I'll be honest, they have not made my favorite signing yet because I'm still looking for them to bolster the O-line because my biggest two knacks last season and the season before was the fact that the O-line was getting paid too much. It was not structured properly, and the OC has to go. The OC has to go. If I'm being honest, as far as players, I haven't yet got my favorite signing. But as far as coaching, my favorite signing is Paceo. Because you get a guy who knows what to do and how to do it, and he comes from a long lineage of being behind great coaches.
Talking about the GM.
No, I'm talking about. Did I say Casario? I mean the offensive coordinator.
Oh, okay.
Offensive coordinator. Yeah, that's my favorite signing they have done. Because, like I say, he comes from the lineage of great coaches sitting behind great guys and learning how to call an offense, utilizing what you have. He's one of those offensive coordinators who calls his offense with the flow of water. If you need me to be in the cup, we can be in the cup. If you need me to be in the bowl, we can be in the bowl. If you need me to be in the beaker, we can be in the beaker. That's how he calls. That's how he calls his offense.
Nick Callie. Damn.
Right.
Nick Callie.
The offensive coordinator for the Houston Texans. So that's my favorite signing. I feel like once they get all the pieces together, I know they're trying to figure out, the receiver thing, which I respect the Christian Kirk. I respect the Braxton Berrios. I respect bringing in guys to make sure your receiving core has a plethora of names to go to if guys go out. Now, my biggest knock on this is I know how it feels to lose a guy like Tank Dell twice due to lower leg injuries. That's his bread and butter. It's not right to see them have to move on, but at the same time, you got to think, okay, well, what are we going to do without our guys Tank Dell? So they're just trying to find a way to fill the void. But again, with all that being said, that's another story for another day. But at the same time, my favorite signing thus far of the offseason, I respect what he's doing player-wise, but I like the fact that he went and got his offensive coordinator that knows what to do with the players he has available.
That's how I feel about Chris Ballard, bro. Honestly, same. Couldn't have mirrored everything you said any better, bro. So I mean, how you guys feel? Y'all feel like we good to get out on that, or I mean, it's just, I mean, it's just crazy. The Texas fans are like over the moon. It's like y'all just, like it's a Powerball and they're splitting amongst all the Texans fan base, and it's like meanwhile over here in Indy, we just we it's like a tumbleweed blowing through town, and
hey, man, they want to win, man. But I think y'all shouldn't be down too much longer because there might be another Manning that y'all might go get.
A quarterback. Oh, fuck. That's all I want. That's if the Lord decided, I'm not gonna say that, but I would love if we could get Arch Manning. I don't have to even say what it would mean to the organization, to the Manning family. The fact that we missed out on Marvin Harrison Jr. still to this day burns my ass to the bone. But it is what it is.
I mean, y'all still got some good receivers. Y'all got.
I love Josh Downs. That's why we talk about receivers. Josh Downs, I think, is going to be probably the best slot receiver in the league next year. Well, not next year. When we actually get a quarterback, he could be set up to be one of the better slot receivers in the league. I mean, we seen what he did with Joe Flacco. Kid was.
I think he's Tank Dell, just a more durable Tank Dell. That's what I think.
Because a little more solid too. A little more solid. Thanks to I love him. It's my little brother, but he's like a.
He frail. He's skinny. He got heart though, but he's gonna have to get in that weight room when we get back.
For sure. So you want to take us out, K-Po?
Yeah, man. See, we done talked about quarterbacks. We done talked about the AFC South. Y'all continue to support us on this journey. I told y'all this is Genesis. We done regenerated this mind on greatness. We didn't gutted the house out. We didn't put new sheetrock up. We didn't put new tile on the floor.
Whole new bathroom.
We didn't did all that. I told y'all, continue to support us. We're gonna keep coming. Pause. Continue to support us. Positive criticism in the comment section. We read it. We mean we ain't running for no smoke. Y'all let us know what we could do to get better, please. I'm Boss, Paceo. That's Coach. We out of here.